Hey there! So it's been a while since I've done a vlog, and I figure it's time that I get around to posting again. I just got home from church. It's a Sunday morning, and after church I went out shopping. I was looking for some plant pots, so I came home with some new pots, and now it's time to get lunch. Okay, so I just had lunch, and now I'm going to begin potting my plants. I'll show you which plants I got. Yesterday I went to this special plant show, and they had plants on discount. Having some green living things in my apartment makes me happy, and kind of brings a little more joy to my life. So the first one is this kind of vine. And I got this like mini palm, and I also got a mint. I also want my own geranium, kind of a fish bowl. I haven't bought the bowl yet, but I might go out later to get it. So I got these little succulents in different colors. So these should grow and expand to fill the geranium eventually. Pretty, huh? It's a sunny sort of plant. You know, you need a lot of sun and warmth to let these do well. I already have an aloe and some kind of fern. Is it bad that I don't know the names of my own plants? I also have this other little plant that has been doing pretty well, but it desperately needs some more soil. It's pretty, I think this one actually was the one that fell on the ground and the pot broke, so now I need a new pot for it. What I'm thinking is this little guy can go in the green pot. Just need to get some soil in there first. Because I just love this song. It says, "You are my sunshine." And for this one, I'm gonna put little palmy. Okay, that's looking good. I bought this to repot my aloe plant. Done. Ta-da! So it's actually a sunny day out after a really long week of clouds and rain. So I decided to take a short walk down to the river. But of course, because it's a Sunday and good weather, everyone else is out too. So it was a little difficult to find a private spot to sit down and chat. But we'll see if this works. So I wanted to talk a little bit about something else that's been on my mind lately. I had a conversation recently with a friend who's an omnivore, so she eats meat, and we were talking about how there's some scientists who are now developing meat that you can actually grow without an animal being involved. You don't actually have to raise a whole animal. You can just grow the meat itself from the cells that make up what we call meat. The main concept is that you wouldn't have to waste resources or time growing a whole animal and then having the waste byproducts that we don't use or don't have a good use for at the moment. Anyways, there's a TED Talk that I will link to in the description if you want to learn more about it. I think it's a really interesting concept. They've already started some experiments just creating leather. So being able to make leather without actually, harvesting the skin off an animal. Anyways, I was talking about this concept with my friend who does eat meat, and she was saying that she considers meat grown in a lab not to be food. Like, if she knew that her burger came from a lab product and not an animal, she wouldn't want to eat it because for some reason it would change it in her mind, even though chemically speaking it would be the exact same thing. And I'm assuming it would taste the same as well. You're using the same material, you're just growing it in a different way. So anyway, she just thought that it sounded gross and disgusting, and she's not the first person to tell me that. Personally, I have a hard time understanding that perspective because I already think meat is gross, and how can it get worse? When I see meat products or somebody offers me meat, I can't help but think of these videos and documentaries that I've seen about how meat is actually produced and harvested, how animals are butchered, how they're actually killed before harvesting the meat off of them. And I can't help but just see a dead animal every time I see meat. And there's plenty of people who they can't eat meat if it looks anything at all like an animal. Like here in Spain, there's this specialty dish you can order that's a suckling pig that's been roasted practically whole, it's still got the face on it, I think the hooves. There's some people who they can't eat that because they think it looks gross and disgusting. But that's basically what I see every time that I see meat. It doesn't matter what kind of shape or form it's in. You could make it a sausage, but it's still the same thing. I kind of have a hard time having sympathy for people who think that lab-grown meat would be disgusting and gross, because in my mind, it's not any worse. In fact, it could be better than what you're already eating. So I don't understand the difference to them. If you're eating essentially the same material, it has the same nutrients in it, why does it matter where it came from to you? Depending on how it's done, I think this could potentially create a cleaner, safer product for everyone. And why wouldn't people get behind that? Nowadays, animals are exposed to so many diseases and parasites, viruses, bacteria. They pump them full of antibiotics. You don't really know what you're eating. The food that we eat is pumped full of chemicals. In the United States, at least, I know they even dye meat to make it look more red. Because people think, well, if it's not red, then it's not fresh. And you're right, it's not fresh. It had to travel a long way to get to your store. At least in a lab, you could control the environment. You could control what kinds of bacteria it's exposed to. It would be a much cleaner place to produce the food. Not to mention all of the waste that we could avoid. Why are we bothering growing all these acres and acres of feed that we could feed to animals when we could be eating all of that food ourselves? Sorry if I'm not explaining myself very well. But for the future, I know that there are certain people that, due to health reasons, they would like to be vegan or vegetarian, but because of health reasons, it's difficult for them to do that, if not impossible. And I really sympathize with those people because their conscience tells them that they don't want to be eating this product, but their body is saying something different. So you can't really argue with that. So in the future, if lab-grown meat does become a possibility, at least those people could actually follow their conscience, but without risking their health. And, there's other people who, maybe it's not a health concern, but it would just be difficult for them to give up the flavor and texture of meat. But if we could provide an alternative option that, they could still keep those while, taking care of the planet better, as well as taking care of animals and themselves, like, why not try that? Why not do that? So I think it's a good step forward as far as the food industry goes. For me personally, I've been vegetarian for so long that I actually have lost the taste of meat. I mean, it was even within my first year that it just didn't appeal to me anymore. Like, even the smell of a burger, it was repulsive. I wasn't interested in it, Even now, it's very rare that if I'm offered meat, I'm actually considering taking it, because at this point, I don't even see it as food. It doesn't smell like food. It doesn't look like food. My whole perspective has just changed, about what food is and should be. I don't miss those flavors. And being vegetarian has just opened up so many different food opportunities, different flavors that I never tried before, that I don't really see a reason to go back. I have too many options as it is. There's no need to add meat to the menu. And my health is doing great. Haven't seen any drawbacks except for people who still don't quite understand why so many people in the world have chosen to go meat-free. That's the only real issue. But anyways, this video is getting kind of long, and I gotta get home to get dinner started, so looking forward to that.